Hello, this is Photography Gamer, welcome back to the channel. Today I am reviewing God of War. God of War is an action-adventure game where you play as Kratos, the God of War. This game is rooted in Norse mythology and is mostly set in Norway in the realm of Midgard. Basically, Kratos is now living the quiet life in the Norwegian woodland realm with his son Atreus. The game starts with the two characters mourning the death of Kratos' wife and Atreus' mother. This prologue, it sets the tone for the journey and the troubled relationship between Kratos and his son, as Kratos tries to keep his true identity as a god secret from Atreus. Atreus isn't aware he's the son of a god and has potentially special powers. This is a really interesting subplot bubbling under the main game as it progresses. The main quest is to spread Atreus' mother's ashes from the highest peak in the realm, which sounds pretty simple, but believe me, it's as far from simple as it could be. So the game world is vast and beautifully imagined. It's not an open world, but it gives you some freedom in terms of where you can go and when. There is a main hub area that leads you to all the other realms, and you can explore that at your leisure or just focus on the main story. So what is the gameplay like? The game feels different to the old God of War games. The combat in particular feels more in depth and similar to a Dark Souls game than a purely arcade button basher. But it's somewhere in the middle. It's not as unforgiving as a Souls game, but it's pretty challenging when you're playing it on the tougher difficulty settings. The game is a mixture of exploration, combat and puzzle solving within all the different environments. The controls are excellent and it slowly adds new features the more you play, rather than just throw everything at you at the beginning. Once you master it, it's a very satisfying and high-octane combat experience. Taking on hordes of enemies is insane and it's so much fun, and it's also very challenging, as the enemies really do mix up their strategies enough to keep you on your toes. The game has a fantastic story and the relationship between Kratos and Atreus is very interesting as you watch it unfold. You know, Kratos is not a maternal figure, so he's a very old school, hardline father. And Atreus is your typical young millennial whiny child who can be very annoying at times. My god, shut up boy. The characters you encounter on the journey are really well crafted and interesting, and they really add depth to the game story and the lore. You can craft items and upgrade weapons at the blacksmith, who is a foul-mouthed little so-and-so. Finally, on the gameplay, the enemies are awesome, the bosses are huge at times, and the battles are epic. But even the small skirmishes can be exciting, and the diversity and the variety of enemy types is very impressive, and it really makes it feel fresh every time you go into battle. God of War is one of the best visual experiences you can get on the PS4. The graphical detail is incredible, in particular when you zoom in on the characters' outfits and the small little details. It's been lovingly created to the absolute minute detail. The environments are stunning and fantastical. The creatures and the enemies you encounter all look superb. The lighting effects are amazing. And it's just a visual masterpiece. It's a true work of art at times. It's very, very impressive. The game does have a photo mode and it's a very good one. Firstly, the game looks incredible, so taking shots is pretty simple and pretty easy for it to look good. But the options the game gives you are good. You can add filters, you can add vignettes, you can change the depth of field option. That's all very well implemented, and you can add lots of different elements to each shot. Even if you're not into combat or the story, if you just want to take pictures of stuff, this is really just such a great game. The game music is beautiful and it perfectly matches the locations, the tone, and each scene and the overall mood. The sound effects during combat and in general are really meaty and really vibrant. They just feel really high level, seamless as well. They just fit in with the action and every moment perfectly. The audio team on this game are really top notch. Finally, the voice acting is great and they've really casted the actors' voices well to fit the character visually. You know, it's a small detail that some developers do overlook, but having people who fit the character in terms of how their voice sounds is key to making everything feel more believable and more immersive. Okay, so what's good and what's bad about God of War? What's good? The story and overall journey of the game is enjoyable and always captivating. The graphics are amazing, the combat is powerful and dynamic, the music and all the audio is high standard. Great voice acting, the game world is stunning and rich in detail. Great photo mode, great customization of weapons and armor, and the side quests are also really good fun. What's bad? Some of the boss battles do go on a bit, and my god, it can feel like they're just like a bullet sponge. Atreus can be an annoying little brat at times, and Kratos, he's a very impressive character, but he can come across a little one-dimensional at times, but it's not all the time, just a few occasions where you think they could have added a little bit more depth to his character. So what is the verdict? God of War is a AAA masterclass. It's a game that everyone should play because there aren't many games of this standard out there. It's been lovingly created by a talented team of designers. It's intense, exciting, emotionally powerful, dark, mysterious, and full of fantasy and mythology, and you get to play as a god. So with all that being said, my score for God of War is 9.5 out of 10. It's a classic. It's the best God of War game I've ever played. It's one of the greatest games of all time. I can't recommend this strongly enough. Just go and buy it and play it and enjoy it. Okay, so that was the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like the video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you again. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Thank you.